Midway, the Chicago Bears, and the Oakland Raiders. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, it is a building that has seen it all through the many years of its existence as EA Sports welcomes you to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Oakland Raiders. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down here as the penalty flags come in right away. And we may have a face mask here right at the start. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Rosen hands off to Johnson, and he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5. 5 yards on the game's first play, 2nd down. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 3rd and 1, Rosen. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. 3rd and long here for Rosen. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Montez Sweat, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. All the defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say, 200-plus?
He's got a first down and then some inside the 40. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Meanwhile, here, a run on first down really backfires as he's going to be brought down well behind the line of scrimmage.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Nothing there, no gain, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 15.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
Offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though.
And he's in. Touchdown, the Raiders. A 5-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them they control your fate.
Pressure comes and down goes Rosen. Montez Sweat in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for it.
And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Montez Sweat, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
51 yards on the punt there. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoff. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A great play there with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Back out of the field comes the offense as we zero in on Josh Rosen. He's playing pretty well. I don't think it's necessarily him changing up something he's doing, but that O-line, they've got to protect him. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Montez Sweat. What a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. The Bears with the football. We get set to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. On 2nd down, it's Johnson. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Rosen. And he's got the hook up to Landry. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
That's certainly playing down a distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 18. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Back. Look at me. Go.
Now a handoff here to his running back. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's caught inside the 25. A big pickup of 38.
That's an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Bears offense making their way out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the NFC. And I tell you, 4 weeks still to go, and everything is wide open, and it's fun.
And I know we always talk about, well, if the playoffs were to begin today, and then we kind of go, okay, but they're not. Let's see how it plays out.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. John Ross, 77 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate.
Let's go.
Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
They'll rifle this one deep right side. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
58 for Mike, 58. No! We got to get the ball. D, get the ball right here. Let's go.
He'll drop to throw. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he won't get back to the line of scrimmage this time either as they stop him behind the line once more. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
Ready? 8, read. Hey, Alpha. Go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
Man, he just ran a terrific route. Extremely hard to defend when it's run that precisely and the ball's delivered that accurately.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken about the 12. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, we'll see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. I mean, that's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On second down now. It's Johnson. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On second and 11 now. Rosen has got his man. It's Andrews. A minute 55 left to go in the first half of play. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Damon Harrison bringing in 341 pounds of power for the sack. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Draw play, Rosen to Johnson. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. On 3rd down, Rosen. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the 1st down right near the 24. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And they're able to pick up the 1st and keep possession. Now the Bears going to call the 1st of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
From the red zone now, here's Rosen on 1st down. It's caught, Lockett. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now Rosen. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So we reach an abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the 2nd half is now underway. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good 1st half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice 1st half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays, have them on the move on 1st down. And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down. They've got the lead early here in the 3rd quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the 1st half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the 2nd half.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here we go on 2nd and 12. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down. They'll run on first down. Bryant. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now first and goal.
A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Wide, get wide. X3, 218, chop.
Cool. I put it on the screen.
Get it.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal.
There is coffee.
Over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And that rushing touchdown is fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front.
Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Christian, Travis. Boys, 58, it's Mike. Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball.
On first down, it's Bryant. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Ready? 50, plant. Situation, let's go.
They'll run on first down. Bryant. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Not with the starter motor being replaced.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to
the starter motor and the alternator are the two things that need to be replaced.
Yeah, you're talking about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes.
Alternative way to start it other than getting the starter motor replaced. And that's why I originally had it at 5,500, but nobody's gonna buy the car, for the price it is worth with those two issues, because those two issues they're moderately cheap, but they're the issues that either won't keep the battery charged, and it's a brand new battery. It won't keep the battery charged and it won't start the car. So those are the two issues wrong with the car. I got both of those things priced already, and I think the starter was $85, and I think the alternator was $94 or something like that. The actual
he
parts,
didn't even try to signal
as
for
far
a
as the labor
timeout,
is
so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. First and 15 following the delay of game.
I keep telling the people, because I talk to like 5 people a day.
Definitely too early to panic, but that is his fourth carry of the game, and collectively has a total 10 yards. So maybe there's no panic, but maybe some concern.
Yeah, and maybe a little concern up front because they're not giving him any space right now.
Okay.
Now
I definitely understand, and that's why I priced it the way that I did. Those two problems are the only problems.
A great play there. His fourth touchdown on the year.
At first it was an alternator, but when I was selling the car, the starter ended up going out while I was waiting to sell the car, and that's why the price dropped for me. Which kind of put me in a bad position because I just don't have time.
Tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
So it's just sitting. But if you and your cousin or whoever, if y'all want to come check the car out, I'm not doing nothing. Or tomorrow either. Well, I'm flying out tomorrow night, but I'm available. I'm available in the daytime.
Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Yeah.
So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the capper, a 19-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
I'm free all day today and tomorrow.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the gun, it's Rosen. He finds his man Johnson.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Over the middle, complete. That's Andrews. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. Back now in the East Bay. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Again, it's Johnson. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, but it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. The Bears on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. Now Rosen looking to throw. A short throw caught by Andrews. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in Newcastle?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship. Watch the ship. 58 to Mike. 58. 58 to Mike. Check the out. Check the out. Check the out. Check the backer. Check the backer.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Bryant, and the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will shave one more off this lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. That's fielded in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
He's going to fire one deep over. He's got a man, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Give them 32 yards as we inch our way to the 2-minute warning. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. On second down, it's Bryant. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And will they call it a touchback? No, it's out at the 1-yard line. They were inches there from blowing a golden scoring opportunity.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain position.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
They'll try and throw for it. The quick slant caught. And they're just not going to...
Leia, come here, Mama. What'd she do to you? What did she do? What did she do? Say hi, Nana. You say hi, Nana. Say hi, Nana. She wants you to put her in there. What you crying for? I didn't pick you up for that. It's pee-pee, Mama. Whoa. Whoa. She just woke up on her own and walked in here. Come on, baby. Come here, Mama. Alea. Here, Mama. Oh, you just making noise. Back up, pig. Just back up. Just back up. You tried to put her in that basket, didn't you?
That's the only thing I tried. No, I didn't try to do that.
Just go. Don't mess with it.
Let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, could also result in a melee later, though. Throwing now, Rosen on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah. And the pressure gets to him again. Montez Sweat in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. Need something for deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Open man is lost, complete. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here comes the Bears punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. So out come the Raiders. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. On first down, Bryant, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner, but after a play like that, he might reduce and might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or 2, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8 ounce. 8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
They'll look to throw here. And a throw there will be incomplete.
Alea. Come here, mama.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles.
Come here, mama.
The incompletion.
Alea, stop crying.
They're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now back to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your
and stop crying when she did
I
it.
think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they just get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Whip. Watch the whip.
Hey, box drop.
One set. Check Mike 54. Hey.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Able to get away. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that